can't tell you how many times I hear this exact advice. Whether it's in my comments, on other people's channels, on Reddit, on HoYoLAP, on Twitter, every time the topic of who should I pull, who should you pull comes up, dozens, if not hundreds of people scream out, the game is easy. Just pull who you like. With everyone liking, upvoting, and commenting, agree, this. But this is actually terrible advice. Wait, before you go, to be clear, I'm not saying this is a terrible practice. This is a good practice. I do recommend pulling who you like, but I think that as advice, this is so obvious, oversimplified, and unhelpful that unless you're going to qualify that statement with further additional information, I'd rather you just say nothing at all than just the game is easy. Pull who you like. So let's talk about exactly why I think this and what I think you should say instead. Welcome to Jello Impact, where we build and test every single character to help you decide who you want to wish for and build. And again, one more time, I am not saying that you shouldn't pull who you like. I'm not saying you should pull for meta. Of course, you should pull who you like. I'm just arguing that this advice is not helpful and not really that good advice that you should give to most people, at least without some further context and clarification. Let's go over the top 5 reasons why I do think that this is bad advice and then move into what I would say instead. Number 1, and this is very important, there's a lot of characters. You probably like a lot of them. And for a new player, saying just if you like them, just pull for them. Well, what if you're like me? When I started the game in Inazuma, and there were less characters then than there are now, my favorite character was Raiden, but I also really liked Keqing. And Hu Tao, I really liked Hu Tao. I just had to have Yoimiya. I really liked her. I really wanted Ayaka. That samurai vibe was so incredible. When I saw Shenhe's design drip marketed, she was an instant must pull. I liked Ganyu. I liked Zhongli. I liked Yelan. I liked Ayato. Just pull who you like. Get all the characters. I mean, to be fair, that's what I did. But you can see how if you're someone who ends up liking a lot of characters, this advice can fall really flat. What am I supposed to do? Go on to favorite character Genshin picker and start ordering my favorite characters? This is actually kind of fun. Yeah. But you can see it's really hard to think about what characters are actually your favorites. And what if I'm not just a collector? What if I'm someone who actually wants to play the game and have cool synergies? And I happen to like Raiden. I happen to like Keqing. I happen to like Yaimiko. I happen to like Ayato. I happen to like Yoimiya and Hu Tao. I get 25 main DPSs, on-field DPSs. I have no supports. I don't build Sing Cho because I don't like him. I don't build Bennett because I don't like him. I don't get Kazuha because I don't like him. I don't build Sucrose because I don't like her. And I just end up with a team of 4 main DPSs. I can't enjoy the combat because none of my characters have any good synergies. Well, what am I supposed to do then? So keep in mind that you have to, when you're pulling for who you like, you have to balance not just who you like the character of, but who you like the gameplay of as well. And also, the game is about fun. What do you want your account to look like overall? Of course, if you don't care about team synergies at all, if you don't enjoy the combat, this is just, a character collector simulator and you like to play, explore the open world and get chests and defeat those open world monsters, and you don't care about really doing any serious fighting or getting character synergies, then sure, it's, get who you like. But you're then forcing your opinion on how to play the game on top of them. Some people, they fall in love with a character not just because of their design, but also because of their gameplay. And that opens up a whole new topic as to who you should like. Like, what if I don't really like Tighnari's design, but I really like his gameplay? Maybe I should get him. Maybe I like Alhaitham and his gameplay. Maybe I like Frieza's gameplay, so I want to get Kokomi. Even though I don't like her specifically, I like her because she enables my Ayaka to freeze the team properly. Some people aren't even as concerned about gameplay. They actually do care about power. And I know it's, we should all get mad at the people who care about meta and care about power, but some people, the way they enjoy the game is actually through meta, is actually through power. So it is helpful to know which characters are meta. And if you want to know who's meta, by the way, stick around for the end of the video where I'll link the video that I go through that talks about the most best meta characters. But I would never tell someone to pull based on meta unless that's what they wanted to do. But I think that very few people care purely about meta, that they only care about meta, they don't care about gameplay, they don't care about their favorite characters. I think most people, it's a mixture of the 3. Maybe you're number 4, maybe you're like me. you want to get the characters that make your very favorites the best characters to play. If Kazuha's on banner, you've got all these people saying, if you pull who you like, if you don't like the game is easy. If you don't like Kazuha, you don't need him. And stick around, we will address that claim that the game is easy. But let's say your favorite character is Raiden. Let's say your favorite character is Yaimiko or Keqing, and you skip Kazuha. Well, now you can't build your favorite character's best team. And for me, I get a ton of joy from having my favorite character be the best that they can be. To have them absolutely slap and clap the Abyss, they depend on their favorite characters to do so. And now you might be, such a stickler that you absolutely do not even build a Bennett because you just don't like him, you don't like his character, and I respect that. That is great. But each person has to make that decision on their own. You can't tell someone how to enjoy the game. For me, I enjoy the game more if I can use other characters to make my favorite characters be better. And the fifth problem is timing. Your favorite character might not be on banner right now. Your favorite character might be Yelan, and she just reran and you just missed her. And and you don't care about anyone else except for Yelan. You don't necessarily want to C6 her. Maybe you just want to get her weapon. Maybe you want to get her C1 and C2. And in which case for you, I would recommend saving up enough wishes that you can guarantee her for when she comes back. But outside of that, you should wish for characters that can synergize with her so that your Yelan can have lots of great team options. Maybe you do get a Hu Tao. Maybe you put together maybe you get a Nahida for Hyper Bloom. Maybe you put together a team where you can use her on field with Kazuha. But you don't want to skip characters that synergize with your favorites if you want to see your favorites shine. I always recommend having a store set aside for your favorite character if they're not on banner now. Whoever is a must pull for you, however many there are, you put aside that many Primo Gems that you have stored away so you know if they ever surprise you and come on banner when you didn't expect it, you've got the savings set aside for them. And outside of that, you can wish for characters that synergize with your favorites or for other characters that you like. And finally, I want to talk about this claim that the game is easy, just pull who you like. So the game is easy. Is the game easy? Well, a large portion of the game is easy. But I don't think, let's say first of all, the game is easy. It's not so easy that you can just run against Ajdaha with Raiden, Ayato, Cyno, and Alhaitham and expect to beat Ajdaha. Like, you might be able to, and some crazy person is going to go and try and do that. But with no healers, really very little synergy between the characters, they're all on fielders, without very intricate game knowledge and very, very good play, you're not going to beat any of the difficult content in the game. Not even talking about Floor 12 Spiral Abyss. You're not going to do it. No, not the weekly bosses, not the hard other bosses, not the overworld bosses. You're just going to have a bad time. And plus, if you don't have a really intricate game knowledge and understanding of how artifacts work, how team building works, how talents work, how weapons work, how they synergize together, how to build characters properly, if you don't fully understand that, the game is not easy. It's very hard. The hardest part about the game really is that knowledge acquisition of how the game intricacies work together. And I know a lot of people watching this are like, of course the game is easy, but you've been playing it for a long time, or you've spent a lot of time really understanding the game, or you've played games similar to this before. But for most people who are brand new to this type of stuff, it is not easy to understand how artifacts work, how teams work, how synergies work, how weapons work. It's just not. And they need help understanding what types of characters synergize well and not well together. And speaking of the game is easy, if you actually do put Abyss 12 into the equation, well, now the game actually does require really good synergistic teams. And I've heard people quoting me say that I say that you can beat the Abyss with anyone, and that I'm wrong about that. Well, I am right. I beat the Abyss with a level 1 Fremine because I used a Hyper Bloom core and then I barely used him at all. So you can 36 star the Abyss with anyone. You can pick any character on here, and if you pair them with the best supports, you can 36 star the Abyss. 100%, no question, even if all those supports are C0 with 4-star weapons. The characters in this game are strong. The really strong ones, Kazuha, Bennett, Xiangling, Xingqiu, Nahida, Yelan, the really strong characters are really strong, and they can carry a lot of the weaker units to perform very well. But the game is not so easy that if you don't build any of those characters, like, you're gonna have a really hard time 36 starring the Abyss if you don't use any really good units. Whether you care about that or not is totally up to you. Future Jello here. I do want to talk a bit more about this Abyss is easy stuff, because I made the claim that, oh, I 36 starred the Abyss with Hyper Bloom and just a 3-man core, so you can put anyone in the last core. Obviously, that's unsatisfying to people for 2 reasons. One, a lot of people are going to be like, well, that's not really using that character, and you're right. But my point overall still stands that if we take any character, you can find 3 other teammates that even if that character is bad, that those 3 other teammates can carry them to 36 star, I believe, regardless of what Abyss is going on. Let me know if you think that that would be a good idea for a video. how to 36 star the Abyss with every single character. That sounds kind of interesting. But the second is that this Abyss is quite easy. Not all Abysses are easy like this. There are some Abysses that were quite a bit more difficult, and that even I couldn't 36 star the Abyss quite well with every single one of my characters. If we ever get those really challenging Abysses back, it will most likely be towards the end of Fontaine. And by then, I will have actually built and tested every single character. We're getting close to that point now. And I will make a video seeing if I can beat the hardest Abyss ever whenever that comes back with every single character using only C0 5 stars and 4-star weapons. I think that sounds really fun, and I do truly believe that I can do it. If you don't believe it, then that's fine. I guess we'll see you there. And finally, to address the people who actually always are asking, should I pull this character? Should I pull that character? Should I pull this character? Should I pull that character? The answer is it depends. And the answer is you need to check out my video, Value is a Lie, where I go through exactly how to wish for characters, exactly the process that you need to make to figure out if you should wish for a character or not. And if you're less concerned about making your favorites work and you just want to get the strongest characters, check out this video, Never Wish Again, where I talk about the strongest characters, and if you pull them, you'll never have to wish for anyone else for power. You can just wish for whoever you want. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I guarantee the top comment will be just pull who you like, and I'll pin it, so don't worry about it.